Hi, this is attorney Joe McPeak with Virtuoso criminal and DUI lawyers. So today I'm going to talk about red light violations in California. California Vehicle Code 21453A governs red light violations. This statute says that whenever you're facing a steady circular red signal, you have to stop either at a marked limit line before the intersection, or if there is no limit line in place, stop before entering the intersection itself. This is something that's probably very common sense to a lot of people. Most, if not all, jurisdictions has some version of stop at red as a traffic violation. But I want to talk just a little bit more about some possible defenses you might have, how red light violations are enforced, and what you can do about it if you have a red light ticket. Some possible defenses to a red light violation may seem obvious to some, but maybe not so much to others. Perhaps the officer or the robo-camera citing you for the violation is maybe not reading your driving patterns properly, and perhaps there's an argument that you stopped at the limit line, or maybe there is no limit line, but you still stop before entering the intersection, and yet, for some reason, the officer or the camera thinks you went too far. That could be a defense to a red light camera violation. Also, maybe you're doing a complete stop and then executing an otherwise legal right-hand turn. The same code section allows for this, unless of course you're at an intersection that clearly states no turn on red. Another possible defense is maybe the light was obscured, or maybe your driving was involuntary, either because of some sort of muscle spasm, if you can prove that up, or because another car behind you is actually forcing you into the intersection because they're driving really fast to the point where your safety is threatened. Those things can be explored. Many red light violations don't necessarily trigger these possible defenses though, especially in this day and age where, for better or for worse, a lot of your red light violations might come in the form of a traffic camera ticket. And you may be able to look up the footage of you supposedly running the red light at the time. A couple ways you can respond to this. One, sometimes, believe it or not, they cite the wrong driver. They follow whoever's registered to the car that passed through the intersection, which isn't necessarily the driver. Maybe it's not actually you driving the car. Perhaps you can decide to fill out the ticket and say, it's not me driving, it's actually this person, which forces the court and maybe the law enforcement agency to double check and compare driver's license photos, or simply raise the issue of identification at a traffic court trial. And by simply looking at your face or a driver's license photo, the court may be able to make a determination on that there's at least reasonable doubt as to who's actually driving the car. Another way you can respond is by setting a court trial and possibly maybe negotiating an amendment. Running a red light under this code section does come with one negligent operator point under California law, which can trigger some higher insurance rates. If you get the court to approve traffic school, that's one way to obliterate the point. But another way to avoid getting a point is to having the court amend the violation to what's called a non-moving violation that carries no points. Vehicle Code Section 38300, for example, is one attractive option. That's just a generic disobedience of traffic signals. Another possible amendment would be Vehicle Code Section 22526A, otherwise known as blocking the box. If you crossed over the intersection, we're running a red light, in theory, you're also crossing into the intersection area or the box unlawfully. So there may be some factual basis there for the court to accept an amendment or reduction to that code section instead. So that's what I can tell you about red light violations in California law. If you think your case is a little bit strange, or you think that you might be able to avoid getting any negligent operator points, it's definitely worth having a conversation with an attorney, and we can definitely help if you're facing a red light camera ticket or any red light violation ticket in the greater Bay Area here in California. Feel free to give us a call anytime for a free consultation at 1-8336-NO-JAIL. And also feel free to check out our YouTube and Instagram sites.